Alexandra Eala enters crucial stage of her career which could impact her at Grand Slams. Alexandra Eala's hopes of making a deep run at the Qatar Open were quickly snuffed out by Teresa Valentova on Monday. Eala, the new world number 40, was defeated 7-6, 6-2 by the talented Czech youngster, who offered her thoughts on Eala's fans after the contest. For Eala, the loss on the Qatar Open center court makes little difference in terms of her WTA ranking. She is currently set to fall 3 places to world number 43 following first-round wins for Diana Yastremska and Lee and Valentova. However, the young star is now entering the most important part of her season. Eala has a high amount of WTA points to defend in the next month, and if she fails to reproduce her 2025 form, she could suffer a significant rankings fall. Alexandra Eala's crucial few weeks on the WTA Tour. Alex Eala first introduced herself to the global tennis audience when she defeated Iga Swiatek, Madison Keys and Yelena Ostapenko on her way to the 2025 Miami Open semi-finals. ASA result: Eala won 390 WTA ranking points, which she will need to defend at the 2026 event. Eala is currently on 1,244 points. If she were to lose in the Miami Open first round, her total would fall to 844 points. If that scenario were to happen, Eala would likely fall out of the world's top 75 players, significantly hampering her chances of qualifying for WTA 1000 events and damaging her hopes of becoming a seeded player at Grand Slam events at some point this year. Eala has the momentum. She is one of the most popular figures on the WTA Tour and has shown glimpses of superstar potential throughout the past year on tour. However, at recent tournaments, Eala has not performed at a level that would see her reach the semifinals in Miami once again. That being said, Eala is capable of playing at a top 10 level when in her best form, and if she can find a spark in Miami for the second consecutive year, she could most certainly defend her Miami Open points and prevent a significant rankings drop. Alex Eala's Filipino message to fans after losing to Valentova in Qatar. Eala posted a comment on her Instagram story. Translated from Filipino, paying tribute to her countrymen, she said, "Thank you, my countrymen. We lost today, but the fight continues. We'll be back next time." Eala is far from the only big name to exit the Qatar Open in the first 2 days. On Tuesday, Coco Gauff was stunned in her opening match by Elisabetta Cacciaretto and has now failed to win a match at the tournament in 3 years. However, many big names have advanced to the round of 16. Elena Rybakina, Iga Swiatek and Elina Svitolina all secured second-round victories on Tuesday. Alexandra Eala enters a crucial stage of her career, one that could shape her Grand Slam future. At just 19, Alexandra Eala stands at a crossroads that few athletes navigate without transformation. For years, she has been known as the prodigy from the Philippines, the junior Grand Slam champion with a fearless baseline game and a scholar of the Rafael Nadal Academy. She has carried not only a racket, but also the hopes of a tennis-hungry nation eager to see one of its own rise on the sport's biggest stages. Now, the narrative shifts. Eala is no longer simply the promising junior with potential. She is entering a decisive chapter, the phase where talent must evolve into resilience, where flashes of brilliance must harden into consistency, and where promise must confront the unforgiving realities of the professional tour. It is a stage that will not merely test her ranking. It will shape her future at the Grand Slams. The transition from promise to proof. Every young tennis star faces a pivotal transition, the moment when junior accolades fade into memory and professional results become the only currency that matters. For Eala, this transition carries unique weight. Her junior resume glitters, including a U.S. Open girls singles title and double success at other majors. Those victories announced her to the world. But the WTA Tour is a different ecosystem altogether. Opponents are stronger, deeper, more tactically sophisticated. Matches are longer, stakes higher, pressure constant. The crucial stage she now enters is defined by one question: can she convert potential into sustained excellence? At Grand Slams, raw talent is not enough. The first week demands focus. The second week demands endurance. The final weekend demands steel. Eala must now build the physical robustness, mental stamina, and tactical maturity to survive best-of-3 battles against veterans who have lived on tour for a decade. This stage is less about spectacular shots and more about surviving the grind. The physical demands of the modern game women's tennis today is faster and more powerful than ever. Baseline rallies are punishing exchanges of precision and pace. Serve speeds have increased. Fitness levels are extraordinary. Eala's left-handed game, with its natural angles and heavy topspin, gives her tactical advantages. Lefties disrupt rhythm. They open the court differently. They force opponents to adjust patterns ingrained through years of playing right-handers. But to make those advantages lethal at the Grand Slam level, she must sharpen the physical side of her game. Endurance across 2 weeks. Recovery between matches. Injury prevention across a long season. Grand Slams are marathons disguised as tournaments. If Eala strengthens her conditioning and maintains durability, she positions herself not just to compete, but to advance deep into draws where opportunity often emerges unexpectedly. The mental battlefield, perhaps the most defining element of this career stage, lies in the mind. Young players often oscillate between confidence and doubt. A breakthrough win may be followed by a puzzling loss. Momentum can feel fragile. Ranking pressure can creep into decision-making. For Eala, mental growth may determine whether she becomes a perennial contender or remains an occasional headline. Grand Slams amplify everything: media attention, national expectations, internal pressure. Representing the Philippines adds a unique layer. Every match becomes more than personal ambition. It becomes a symbol. But within that weight lies power. If she learns to channel expectation into fuel rather than burden, she could cultivate the kind of mental toughness that defines champions. The ability to reset after lost points. The composure to serve out tight sets. The calm to face seeded opponents without intimidation. This phase of her career is about emotional control as much as forehands and backhands. Tactical evolution at the junior level. Superior shotmaking can carry a player through rounds. At the professional level, adaptability is essential. Opponents will study her tendencies. They will target her second serve. They will test her movement under pressure. They will probe her net play and vary pace to disrupt rhythm. The crucial stage Eala enters requires expanding her tactical toolkit, developing a more reliable first serve percentage, adding variation, slices, drop shots, changes of pace, improving point construction against defensive specialists, sharpening transition play to finish points efficiently. Grand Slam success often belongs to players who can win in multiple ways. On windy days, on fast courts, on slow clay, in 3-hour battles. Eala's training environment has exposed her to high-level coaching. Now comes the application, the refinement that transforms style into strategy. Ranking and opportunity in tennis. Timing matters. A player's ranking determines entry into